afternoon. I am Adia Harrison, Omicron Lambda Omega chapter member and team member for Target 4, the Arts Career Focus, Up Close and Personal. The arts. Yes, it does make life eminently worth living. The arts in all its varied forms improves the quality of life and living for all in excellence. Omicron Lambda Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated is implementing international program Target 4, the arts with enthusiasm, while exemplifying excellence through sustainable service. The artsy girls of OLQ have accepted our charge to showcase talent in the visual and performing arts, celebrate the contributions of African American artists, and highlight the artists and artworks of the Harlem Renaissance and Black arts movement. Welcome to the arts on a Sunday afternoon, as we focus on successful individuals who have chosen careers in the arts field. Thank you for joining us this afternoon for our career focus, Up Close and Personal, featuring jazz musician Donald Harrison. It is my pleasure to introduce our guest for this afternoon. New Orleans-born saxophonist Donald Harrison is a musician and composer who master musicians consider a master of every era of jazz, soul, funk, and a composer of orchestral classical music. He is also a genius, according to geniuses like Eddie Palmieri and Mike Clark. In the HBO drama Treme, Emmy-winning director David Simon created two characters to portray Harrison and how he innovated new styles of music. Harrison has appeared as an actor and musician in 9 episodes of Treme, Oscar-winning director Jonathan Demme's film Rachel Getting Married, Spike Lee's When the Levees Broke documentary, and Marvel's Luke Cage. This talented artist is the recognized Big Chief of Congo Square in Afro-New Orleans culture. Donald honed his experience playing with Roy Haynes, Art Blakely, Eddie Palmieri, Dr. John, Lena Horne, McCoy Tyner, Dr. Eddie Henderson, Miles Davis, Ron Carter, Billy Cobham, Chuck Liu, Dr. Lonnie Smith, Digital Planets, Gurus Jazzmatazz, The Headhunters, the Chicago Symphony Orchestra, and the Notorious B.I.G. He has performed with over 200 jazz masters and created 3 influential styles of jazz. At the age of 19, he created a modern jazz take on the New Orleans second line tradition and introduced his composition, New York Second Line, to the jazz world in 1979. By the mid-'80s, he created Nouveau Swing, a distinctive sound that blended the swing beat of modern jazz with hip-hop, funk, and soul music. In the 90s, he recorded hits in the smooth jazz genre. He began exploring music through the lens of quantum physics, in 2000. With quantum jazz, Harrison heard how to move music from a 2-dimensional state into a 4-dimensional state. Harrison has been a mentor to artists as diverse as the Notorious B.I.G., Jonathan Baptiste, Christian Scott, Trombone Shorty, and Esperanza Spalding, just to name a few. And I cannot wait to jump into this interview. I hope you all enjoy. All righty. Thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate your time. Let's just jump right on in, cousin. So, what is a jazz musician?
Well, I feel like a jazz musician is the kind of person who wants to do things at their highest level, because the ideals of jazz music is to be the best person you can be on all levels, and then share that with humanity, to understand all types of music and to bring that into the fold. The intellect, spirituality, the movement, the universe, just everything around you, you try to put it into the music and raise humanity's understanding of the world to a better place.
Mm. Okay. You let me know something. You let me know a lot just now, because I mean, I thought it was something just so simple, but I mean, I guess to you, it's something really, really big. I mean, of course it is. That's what you chose to do as, as your career. But what educational preparation was required for you to become a jazz musician?
Well, they said it takes 10,000 hours to begin to understand almost anything that you can do in this world. So you can multiply that probably to 200,000 hours of educating myself in a myriad of different ideas, from economics, how we treat each other, spirituality, understanding of music, all different types of music, and then the respect of people. There's the respect of trying to understand people and where they're coming from. I always thought of what I do is trying to understand people in the universe, and have a great heart condition, ingesting all that stuff, and then just giving it back to the people the way they gave it to me, so they can hopefully relate to the sound of what I'm doing, because it's just what I learned from them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Love that. Love that. So why did you, what prompted you to select, being a jazz musician as your career?
Well, first, I love the music, and I felt when I was young, because jazz was so hard, that if I understood jazz, then I could understand everything else, and that is proven, in my estimation, to be true. Because now I play all types of music, and I just did a concert as an MC with some hip hop music and some New Orleans bounce music here, and I was going right at it with the young people. I call myself the 60-year-old rapper. But,
get out of here.
over the hill gang, but I still love it. And what makes me happy is that the young people accepted me as having some skills on the mic, and being having the foresight to understand the tenor of these times.
Okay. Okay. So what is a typical day like? What does a typical day look like for you, like in your career? What does it look like?
A lot of work.
Yes, sir.
Like, I'm always, in my head, I'm always composing music. And then all the little business acronyms that you have to go through every day, contracts, and making decisions for bands, and then making decisions about direction of the music, and everyday life things that we all do, like taking care of bills and finances, and finding food, talking to friends, and going to museums. Just, I like to go fishing. Just, it could be a lot of different things, but my days are compact with a lot of different things I'm working on, and hopefully moving them all into a better direction. Right now, I'm working on I have an invention, so I patented the idea. So I'm working on software and content for my patent, which is a new concept for recorded music. People will be able to engage music when I'm finished in a way that they have never done it before.
Wow, that sounds like a busy life. I mean, that's a long list. Shucks. I can't
And that's
imagine.
not even 1/4 of it.
Really? Okay. Okay. Yeah, shucks. I can't relate. I thought being a mom was really, really hard, but shucks. Like, I mean,
No,
because I
no,
know you.
I think being a mom might be more difficult than what I'm doing.
You
You
think
know,
so?
yeah,
Shucks.
I'm almost positive. But the thing, I was around a great trumpeter named Miles Davis.
Mm.
And when you went to his house, he was always working on 5 or 6 things at one time. And it used to amaze me. So I think I picked up on that. He would be painting a painting. He would be writing a song, reading the newspaper, looking at a movie, having a conversation with you, and doing all these things at the same. Would spend like 15 minutes on each one. And I used to follow him. He'd go to the piano and start playing, start talking about chord changes or something to me, or the sound of the song. Then we'd go look at a movie, and he'd look at that for a minute, then pause it. That was back when they had VHS tapes.
Yes, sir.
He'd pause the movie. Then we open up the newspaper and look at that. And, it was just that kind of process. And he started working on a painting for a little while. And we talk about that, the great artists, Rembrandt and the modern artists. So I sort of picked up on the idea that you could achieve a lot of things at one time. You just have to focus on one thing at a time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So obviously Miles Davis was someone that you admired, but I actually, maybe about a year ago, I was watching Netflix and I was watching the Biggie biography. And as soon as they started describing this musician in New Orleans, I was like, man, I wonder if that's my cousin. And lo and behold, who comes up? Nobody other than you. And I was like, man, this man did not tell me he knew Biggie. And then my mom was like, yeah, he used to stay in New York. I was like, I had no idea. Like, I had no idea. And I mean, obviously, he was quite taken with you and, he admired you as well. So I know that you made a great impact, not just on his life, but others as well. So I just really wanted to point that out to you because I didn't get a chance to get in touch with you as soon as I saw it, but I really was like all eyes as soon as I saw, somebody that I knew and somebody that I could relate to in a way. So I was just like, man, like I'm cut from great cloth, but shucks. But nonetheless, can you tell me, I already know you play the saxophone. I remember that time you came to my debutante party and you played, what was that, Cool Breeze? Was it? Yes, loved it. Are there any other instruments that you play? I think you mentioned the piano, but is there anything else?
Yeah, well, I write for symphonic orchestra and also for to be a decent composer, you have to have what I call a working knowledge of all the instruments. And that just means if the drummer doesn't show up, then I can go play drums. If the piano player doesn't show up, I can go play piano. So that goes back to what you were talking about, the education, studying all those instruments so that you can be prepared to do a lot of different jobs in case they come up, because you never know when an emergency comes up. And also, as a composer, I have to know what the bass player is thinking to really write for him, how the instrument is set up, how the pianist is thinking, and how that instrument is set up, and have a working knowledge of things you can and can't do on each instrument. So it all works hand in hand.
Yeah, but see, how does that work? Just kind of trying to figure out, the way somebody would want you to set up, in terms of, playing drums or playing the piano. Like, how do you place yourself, I guess, into that person's mind almost? Like how, like, do you kind of get an idea from them on, kind of what they expect, or, do you already have that rapport established with those people to where you're like, okay, I know they would like this beat, or I know these keys sound about right. I know that's usually their speed. Like, how does that work?
Well, in terms of what you're speaking of now, I generally know what musicians, the musicians who are around me, I know what they like to play.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm composing, I just, the thing that, the hardest thing that they do, I write the song from there and then stretch them out a little further from what they already know. So it's I keep them moving, keep the music moving from their concept and mixing it with my ideas. But in terms of just practicing the instrument, like I practice drums, so I know if I write something, it's going to be hard for the drummer to do it, or maybe he can't do that. But I try to push all the levels, even though I know it may be difficult for them. And generally, all the instrumentalists have been able to do anything that I write, so we love them for that.
Mm. Yes, sir. Okay. And how has the work setting been changed, due to COVID? Like, how has that looked for you?
Well, we had a really bad period, when nothing was going on.
Right.
But it seems to be picking up, especially in America. So we're happy about that. And I went to Europe earlier, last month actually,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm coming back in August.
Okay.
So I haven't been to other countries yet, but hopefully everything will get back to normal, and humanity can go about doing what we were doing before in terms of the people that are looking for a better humanity.
Yes, sir. Okay. What do you think the most challenging thing about your career is?
That's a great question. That I've never been asked before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the most challenging thing. Well, when I was young, I'll say this: when I was younger,
Mm-hmm.
I always call life a double-edged sword, and what I mean by that is what's it seems to me that everything good that happens, there's equally something bad that happens. So the challenge for me was to try to see what to do with that, and now I try to focus on the positive things that I can do, and help other people to see or envision themselves doing the same thing. And if I see someone doing something that I don't agree with, if it has a negative effect on me, I try to help them to see that it would be better if we engaged each other in a positive manner. And sometimes it works, but sometimes it doesn't. But that's my focus, and that's for me the challenge in life is for me to see a better way and to help others to see a better way.
There go that busy life calling you. But yeah, I completely agree with that. I truly understand that. But so what do you think is the most rewarding thing about your career?
The most rewarding thing is to see how we can help each other, and to see to go somewhere and leave people with a moment of joy. Whatever's going on when they come to the concert and everybody's happy and enjoying themselves, to know that you gave people a moment to enjoy life and to be happy. And that's a great thing to bring joy to other people. For me,
Yes, I completely agree. I know, on days where, I may be feeling down, music can always change my mood. Like it doesn't matter what it may be, whether it's gospel, jazz, R&B, hip hop, like it always seems to change my mood. I never can stay in that negative realm. So, I mean, I appreciate people, like you and musicians like you, especially, feeling like that's the most rewarding part. It's not the money or anything like that. It's just the fact that you uplifted someone and you changed someone's day. That's amazing to me. But
Yeah.
so yes, sir.
No, I'm agreeing with you wholeheartedly.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Are there any resources that you think you could share, for those who are interested in pursuing, a career in music?
Well, I've taught a lot of students over the years,
Yes, sir.
and and, and the main thing I tell them is life. If you think of life like a bank account, you'll know what you have to do. And what I tell them is you can't take anything out of the bank you didn't put in. So do the work, that it takes, whatever it takes to achieve your goal. And if you have faith, for me, if you have faith in the higher power, and you take that the higher power will take the lead, uh, that will lead you to where you need to be and teach you. You always have a choice. Am I going to do what it takes to finish this job? Because the path is, for me, is always been right there. I could always see it. So I just had to make a choice to stay on it and do the work and have the faith. Just I ask for simple things, just to let me be maintained, uh, so I can do the job that our higher power wants me to do. And I just get up and do it every day. And the enlightenment for the moment keeps coming, because you can only give you so much information at a time. Once you do the work, then more information comes for you to work on. Because when I was 22 years old, I never thought I would be an inventor. But through learning music, it led me there. I'm using quantum physics for music right now. I never would have thought when I was 19 of anything like that. But when you keep doing the work, you just keep getting enlightenment to the next phase that you have to work on. Because I wasn't ready to deal with some of these things when I was younger. So God is pacing me. Let me put it like that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, it's like everybody wants to be famous, but no one really wants to put the work in.
Yeah, I never thought about being famous, actually. I just wanted to do my job. And all of those things come when people. Another thing I tell my students, in terms of doing work, and this is a way to look at it. I tell them, if you take a shovel and every day you just take the shovel and dig one time with the shovel. If you do that 50 years, then everybody will see your work. Because the hole you will make will be so big. And if you do that every day for 50 years, that nobody will not be able to walk by and notice your work. So just do the work. And the work will speak for itself.
You're absolutely right. Goodness. So would you like to share your website, or do you have any social media handles where, where people can kind of look you up and kind of get a feel for you more so out of this?
Yeah, that's nice of you to offer. Of course, I have DonaldHarrison.com. And then I have, I'm on Facebook, and I think Instagram, I'm Big Chief Donald Harrison. So those are the main areas you can come see what I'm dealing with. I'm not an Instagram guy yet, maybe one day, but now they're telling me TikTok. I'm in touch with a lot of young people and they always keep me abreast of. So I'm just getting used to Facebook. I got a lot of stuff on Facebook, but maybe we'll get to Instagram a little more and TikTok as well.
You're just getting used to Facebook. I haven't gotten on to TikTok just yet, but my kids are pushing me to do so. But I don't know. I don't know if I want to get sucked into that life just yet. But I understand. But geez, you just getting into Facebook. That's kind of crazy to me. Oh my goodness.
Well, I'm old. I'm old. I'm trying.
You're not old. You're just seasoned.
All right, I like that too.
Yeah. But lastly, is there anything else that you would love for our audience to know? Like, is there anything that you would like to share with us? I know you mentioned, that your Instagram handle is Big Chief Donald Harrison. So can you give us a little bit about that?
Well, where I come from in the culture, mm-hmm. It's an offshoot culture from Congo Square and keeping alive traditions that were brought from Africa to the New World. Mm-hmm. One of the only places people of African descent could play their drums and sing and continue their culture in the Western Hemisphere. So we have that in New Orleans, and it helped to, our culture helped to birth our style of jazz and, our hip hop, our R&B and soul music and funk. It's always at the root of that. So I'm the present chief, Big Chief of Congo Square. So it's quite an honor to represent antiquity, ancient times all the way to modern times here in the city that New Orleans, that is a root incubator for much of the music in the world today. So it's a great thing to be a part of that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Truly giving back to us. Really, really, really. And I mean, I speak on behalf of, the younger generation when I say thank you so much for, the way that you have paved for everyone. Because I mean, I don't know if anybody is unaware of who you are, but I mean, you truly, I actually went to a washateria because someone said that they saw your picture on like one of the dryers and things like that, like just something as simple as that. So, I mean, I know people know of you, but people, may not know you and know what you have truly done to impact, New Orleans culture and things like that. So I just want to say thank you and that we appreciate you. And I can't tell you thank you enough for, taking out the time to actually interview with me, because I know you have Jazz Fest and things like that going on. And like you said, you just have a lot going on to where your time is really, your time is valuable. So I really, really want to say thank you. And I appreciate you. I appreciate your time, cousin. Really do.
Well, I want to say I have an agenda for you. And my agenda for you is I have a song that I need a line dance on.
Okay.
And I know you got the skills to make up something for me.
Yes, sir.
We're going to get on that too. And I appreciate you taking the time to think about what I'm doing and what we're sharing with the world and giving it more light, We all have to. And that's my main message maybe today is to all of us treat each other like we want people to treat us. I know it may not affect some people, but your message is positive and it gets to one person and it helps one person, and your life was worth living because you gave another human being a chance. And also that, I think it's the odds of being born is 400 trillion to 1, 400 billion to one, even it's 400 billion. So always think of yourself. Everybody walking this earth is a miracle just to get here, and you have a purpose. So just do your best with that and love each other and keep stepping.
Oh, I love it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Again, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate you. Really do.
Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you for inviting me to do this.
No problem. I appreciate it. I'm telling you.